Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Michaela Carpenter. I'm a nutrition and life coach, and I help people overcome restrictive dieting and emotional eating through healing their relationship with food. So on today's video I wanted to talk about how to step up and become the person that you want to be. So what I mean by this is, obviously life can just be fine, like we can be going about life and feel okay with it, feel as though everything's kind of going the way it should be, but we feel as though we're not doing the things that we really want to be doing. So we may be holding back from pursuing something that we really want to be pursuing. Maybe that's in terms of career or just some sort of hobby even, or maybe that's something like healing a relationship with food, something that has just not been a priority to us, but we know that it would really enhance our lives. So this is the video for you. If this is what you're really feeling like, you're feeling like there's more, or there's something you're really not doing that you want to be doing. So if this sounds like you, make sure you keep watching, and I'll be giving you 5 steps to stepping up and becoming the person you want to be. So step 1 is to shift towards a growth mindset. So it's important to come to a place and realization that you are in control of your life. Where you are at now, you've had control to get to this place, and it's important to recognize the power you have right now to start going for the things you want to go for, and recognize that the only thing holding you back is really yourself, like your own mindset and the things you're telling yourself. So it's really important that you recognize that you can allow things to continue moving the way they are moving, and that's okay if you're okay with that, and that's fine if you feel good in doing that. But recognize that you also have the power to start changing and shifting the direction that your life is heading and the way that things are going. So you can decide to start making small shifts in your day-to-day lives, little shifts in the way you react and respond to things that will create big changes in the long term and will allow you to get closer to where you're really wanting to be in life and reaching for the things you're wanting to reach for. And just recognizing that to get to a place that you want to be, in terms whether that's pursuing some sort of passion that you really do want to pursue, it really does take such small steps. So shifting one habit a day or one small thing each day can really change the trajectory of your life, and even in a few months' time, you'll be in a completely different place or at a completely different step in the journey to getting to a place you want to be than you would be if you had continued doing things the way you are doing right now, which is not focusing on growing or pursuing a certain thing that you want to be pursuing. So it's really important to recognize the power of one small shift each day, or doing something different each day, and how powerful this can be. And last thing I wanted to say in terms of step 1, obviously the growth mindset thing, is you need to decide that you're ready to start making those changes. You need to decide to start doing things differently and decide to start becoming the person you want to be, because at the end of the day, you're the only one that can make that decision and start shifting the way you're doing things. So really taking and empowering yourself into that place where you are wanting to make those changes and deciding to put in the action to really get to the place you want to be. So that is step 1. Step 2 is to find your why for making these changes. So it's really important to understand and really get clear on why these changes are going to be so powerful for you, what kind of impact they're going to have on your life, and what sort of changes they can have on other areas of your life, not just maybe the area that you're focusing on. So just really seeing the overall big picture of why it's going to be really important for you to make these changes. So the reason why having a why is so important is because it can really help us keep moving forward even when we are feeling a bit unsure, or as though maybe things aren't going the way we want to. We can kind of continue in being persistent and creating those changes that we know are going to get us to where we want to be, but we sometimes in certain moments may feel doubtful or a bit unsure about what the point is, because we're not seeing the sort of changes and shifts that we're hoping to see in the short term, but we know that in the long term it will bring us the changes we're wanting to see. So that is why a why is so important, and it can be really powerful in keeping us motivated and keeping us moving in the right direction, the direction that we want to be moving in. The thing I also wanted to say around the why part is it can be immensely powerful in helping us push through those, especially those first steps when we are reaching towards becoming the person we want to be, when we start really making those small steps, because it can bring up some really uncomfortable feelings that we haven't experienced before, or we don't regularly experience. So things such as fear and just uncertainty, because we're doing things differently. As humans, we really are creatures of comfort and knowing what certain things do. So daily habits and stuff really can keep us feeling comfortable and happy and secure. So when we do start doing things slightly differently, it can bring up feelings of uncertainty and fear, and those sorts of feelings can obviously feel uncomfortable, and oftentimes people will retract when they start feeling feelings like that. So it's important to have a really strong why to be able to recognize those feelings as something good and using them as a sign that we are shifting and growing in ways that we weren't before. So that is another reason that our why is really important. Another thing to do is to create a vision of what the person that you'd want to be would be like. So what place you would want to be. So basically just asking yourself and getting clear on what you would want your life and yourself to be like, and starting to really get curious about what things would be different, what things would you be doing in your daily life if things were the way you wanted them to be, and what sort of bold actions would you need to be taking to be able to get to that place. Really getting really curious and clear about what you really want your life to look like, and what passions you want to be pursuing, or what you want your relationship with food to look like, whatever it is, just really getting clear on it. And this can really help us, just like with the why, really just stay motivated and be able to remember why we are doing the things we're doing, and what it will mean to our life when we reach the place we want to reach, and also as we go along the journey and see progress and those sorts of things. So, and obviously also this can bring a level of excitement and just make it a fun process as we start to realize and push through the barriers that we've kind of been letting hold us, the barriers that we've been letting hold us back for however long it's been, and as we start overcoming them and realizing that they weren't really barriers, and we can overcome those things and get to the place we really want to be. So that is step number 3. The 4th step is to really start doing the things that the person you'd want to be would do. So when situations come up that are obviously relevant to the things you're wanting to shift and change and grow in as a person, asking yourself, what would the version of me that I want to be, the place that I'm trying to reach, what would I do, and what would that person do in this situation, and really just ask yourself how you could start implementing that into your life right now. And yeah, basically just becoming that person in those moments, and just embodying the person you want to be in the way you want to respond to things, and start pursuing your passions. The 5th step is to embody and become that person through the way you talk to yourself. So right now, the way you talk about yourself is probably in a way that is not helpful in getting to the place you want to be, because if it was helpful in getting you to the place you want to be, you'd be there already. So it's important to start really listening to our thoughts and hearing how they are keeping us stuck where we are, and the things that are coming up that are really not helpful in getting us to the place we want to be, having the healthy relationship with food, or pursuing our dreams, whatever it is that we're wanting to kind of move towards. But it's important to recognize these thoughts that are holding us back, and be able to put in the place, or start shifting these thoughts to helpful thoughts that are going to bring us to a place where we feel as though we can pursue our dreams, or get to that healthy relationship with food, and the sort of thoughts that the person that we want to be would have. So in moments that are obviously relevant to us doing whatever we're wanting to do, so becoming the person we want to be, whenever a situation comes up, really asking ourselves what thoughts we're having in those situations at the moment, but then also asking ourselves, what thoughts would the version of myself that I want to be, and the place that the person that I want to become, thoughts would they be having about this situation? How would they be handling this situation compared to the way I would usually handle this situation? And really start thinking those thoughts and doing those things that that person would do. So really, similar to the last one, embodying the person that you want to be and becoming that person. So when we recognize that we can do that, we can really just start thinking the thoughts that we need to be thinking, with the thoughts we want to be thinking, and start questioning the thoughts that aren't helpful. It can be really empowering, especially when we realize how powerful those thoughts are and whether we take action that is going to lead us closer to where we want to be. Because if we find ourselves having thoughts such as, okay, I can't do this, or thoughts that are really holding us back in some way like that, we recognize that we don't feel motivated to take the action that we need to take, to do the things we need to do in order to reach the place we want to be, because we're really just shoving ourselves down. We're telling ourselves no, or holding ourselves back in some way, when we need to start shifting the way we're thinking about these things and thinking about different opportunities in life, so that we are wanting to and feeling motivated and excited and happy to start doing those things. So our thoughts are super powerful in doing this. So that is step number 5 of how to step up and become the person you want to be. That is it for today's video. So overall, I just want you to know that obviously this is something that takes time and persistence. It's not something that you're going to be able to do overnight. But by recognizing these different steps that I've kind of gone through, and just slowly taking the time to start unlearning things like the thoughts that you're holding about yourself, and really relearning the way that we respond to certain situations to be more aligned with where we're wanting to go, you'll find that things become easier, and you'll start seeing that it is possible to really start embodying that person and doing the things you're wanting to do and overcoming the things you want to overcome. But it's important to really just open that space for yourself in the first place, to give yourself that opportunity to make these changes. So yeah, I think that's kind of all I want to talk about in terms of this. If you have any questions, I know this is quite a lot to kind of take in. So if you have any questions, make sure you do comment them below, and I will get back to you. And yeah, let me know if there was anything in this that you found super helpful. And yeah, that is all for today's video, and I post weekly videos, so make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I will see you next week.